Hello, hello, good evening. This is Anna Stropnik coming to you live from Fort Lauderdale. I'm sorry I'm a little bit quiet. My son is asleep in the other room and don't normally come out this late. But let's see, who do we have watching? Type in where you're watching this from. That would be awesome. So today we're going to be covering on how you can do a home-based business very part-time. I hope you can hear me well. Type in down in the comments one if this is loud enough. I just don't want to be too loud. So my question for you is, would you like to know how to start a business but working it very part-time alongside of what you're currently doing? So that's what we're going to be talking about. If this is you, if this would be helpful, type in number 2 and stay tuned. I'm going to be giving you some great pointers that will hopefully make this a little bit more clear on how that's possible. And if this is the first time you're ever watching one of my videos, my name is Anna Stropnik and I help people create side stream of income working from home, and I also help them reach their time and financial freedom. So let's dive in straight away. What is one of the myths? People often think when they see like us working our home business, they often feel that they need to quit their jobs and start a business and spend like hours and hours all day in front of the computer, Facebook, whatever, and working this business. But it's a complete myth. And so another thing is people are often worried, on the other hand, is they might even hate their job, but they will be like, but it has good benefits, it has great retirement, it has good medical, I just can't live without this. And they actually worry about things that they shouldn't be worrying about in the first place, because the secret is most people will start building their business part-time. So once you are there, once you've made it, then you have this option where you see all these people like really successful in their home-based business, and they're actually doing it full-time, but that's not the way they started. So another thing is that you often have the misrepresentation of, like, for example, myself. You think, I could never do what she does, like she's working in the business non-stop. But it's not really. I am maybe putting in a little bit of extra work when I'm close to getting to a new rank, or just to make a specific bonus, or to win an incentive trip. We work a little bit hard, but you can actually real hours that you put in, it's maybe around 10 hours a week, that of your focused work when you're actually working the business. So everything else is kind of on the side, the things that you're posting on Facebook, it's not really counting, it's more like marketing. But actual doing the business, it's really very part-time. And I actually I am still part-time. I have a full-time job. The only thing is I don't promote it. I promote my business that I'm building, but I am actually part-time. I'm working at the hospital doing medical coding, which I also do from home. So don't think that this is something that you absolutely have to do either or. You can do it together. So that's one myth, and also. And they sometimes feel people sometimes feel that building business like this will take way too long. But then another thing is how great would it be that you can actually build your business at the same time while you're working your full-time job, paying your bills, everything is the same, and you're just slowly building and making extra cash. For at first you will be making $500 a month extra, then it's going to be 1,000 and then 2,000, so how great would that be to make that income alongside of your current job, right? And it basically, like, so the time that it takes to build, you may think, oh, you know, it takes forever, but think about it. It will like take anywhere like 2 to 5 years, they say, you know, to make it where you can have that option of like deciding, you know, do you want to do this full time now? So you know, like, people like often overestimate like what can be done in a year, but they very much underestimate what can be done in 2 to 5 years. You know, what other job can actually provide this for you, like provide this like time and financial freedom after you work it for 2 to 5 years. You know, you can get to like 6-7 figure incomes, which sometimes, you know, with the regular jobs, like, you know, how many years of work is that, how many promotions? Just think about it, like, can you ever get there with like a regular job? But also another thing that you need to consider then, even if you have a great paid job, how much free time do you have? Because how awesome it is to actually work your business until you make it, and then you have all the time in the world as well, because you're making residual income, you're getting paid month after month after month, because we have residual bills, so why not have residual income as well? So that's the difference. And the good news is, like, most people will start building their business part-time. So for example, when I first started building my business, I was working at the hospital, like doing medical coding, but I was on site. Now I work that from home. So I had like a regular, you know, 8 to 5 job. I also had another job that I was like picking up and doing like coding in the evenings for a private physician. So at that same time I was doing that. And I had my spa job, which was my previous career, on every single weekend, every Sunday. So I was working 6 days a week, 40 hours at my job, like another 20 hours doing my part-time job, plus 6 hours every Sunday working at the spa. So, you know, with all those hours, I was thinking, like, how am I gonna fit another thing? But I needed extra money, but I didn't necessarily want to put in more time. And then when I started, so basically what I did is I said yes, and then I'll figure it out how I'm going to do it. And I learned later that that's basically like the best attitude to have. You know, whenever opportunity comes to your door, if you're indecisive, if you let it go, if you let it slide by, when is the next opportunity going to come to you? It may take years and months, and who knows, like maybe never. So, you know, make sure that you know what you're saying no to, and also, you know, make sure that you do make that decision quick. So if it's a yes or no, you know, make a decision based on facts. So if it's something that you were asked, you know, don't just like make a decision based on your opinion about it. Make a decision based on the facts, and just do like a little bit of research before, so you know what you're saying no to. But the best thing happens when we just jump in. Lots of people who I admire, and like the books, like Napoleon Hill, like Think and Grow Rich, he talks about this. He talks about how he had this opportunity and that made him a millionaire later in life. That didn't sound like a great opportunity. He was offered to like basically volunteer for a year, and he was broke like right after college, but he said that if he waited like few more seconds, that opportunity would go away. So luckily he said yes, and figured it out, you know, and figured it out how later on. So that's the best way to be. So when I got started, I really realized how this business works, and I'm like falling in love with it like more than every day more than before, because I find it's just like exactly what I wanted. Because I needed extra money, but I didn't want to be away from my family any more than I already was. So what I like about it best is, so when I say I'm putting my hours in, I'm working my business, it's when I'm playing with my son. You know, he's like maybe watching cartoons and building something, I'm actually working on the phone. I'm not driving to work somewhere, having him in daycare or having a babysitter for that time. I am actually here with him. When I can wake up earlier before he wakes up and work my business. I can work like now when he's sleeping. So that's the best part of it. And you do it from home, you do it from your computer or your phone or wherever you are with your phone. All you need is really a good smartphone. That's all you need to do this business. I mean, we spend so much time on our phones, like scrolling down Facebook, scrolling down Instagram, scrolling down like all of these things like texting and stuff. So why not get paid for it? That's my question, right? So basically, if you're looking, if you really focus on your time, how much time it will take, it really is not all that much. You know, we can all skip a little bit of TV, a little bit of TV shows, like we don't have to go out every single night of the week, and just sacrifice a little bit for a little bit of time. It's really going to be worth it. And we show you a step by step how to do it, so you're never really alone in this, which is amazing. And basically you can actually build up to like 6-figure income yearly, still working at your job, still, you know, doing this very part-time working at your job. So that's just something that I wanted to clear, like those myths, because I often hear it, you know, oh, if I was only like able to have full time. When you're first starting, you wouldn't know what to do with that time anyway. So often people make mistakes and they quit their job like way too soon, and then they're like, now what? You know, now I'm like really behind on my bills and I'm still not making it. So, you know, wait and you know, work your job all the way until your job becomes an obstacle that is actually costing you money to stay at your job, you know, if that's something that you want to do. But also there are people who will never, no matter what, they will never quit their job because they just love what they do. For example, I have a friend who is a teacher. She would never quit her job, but she's also building a side business from home. So, you know, it can just be like little perks that she can have with this side business, which is great. Yeah, so hopefully you got some value from this. I'm not sure who watched it. You know, if you're watching a replay, typing down a replay. I would love to see who was here. And if this was helpful, you know, typing down in the comments if this was helpful as well. So my how I wanted to finish this, I actually I'm doing something. I'm doing a company survey, just by the way, that is going on tonight and tomorrow all day until midnight. We are testing out one of our new videos that we're showing to present our business. And if you are watching this and if you can help me out, I'm looking to have as many people to watch and like answer one question in the survey, so we can have like a little bit of better idea on things to improve and how this video is viewed by our audience. So that's all you have to do, like really watch a video. But I can actually win a prize for a small prize, but I would really like to win it. So like feel free to message me if you'd like to help me out with this. That's it. I hope you all have a great rest of the weekend. Thank you for watching and have a good night. Bye.